Well, it's been quite a while. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. 1 week removed, spring break behind us, a lot of Boost on the Beach action down in Myrtle. All now completed. We find ourselves back home live from our Esports arena here in Winchester, Virginia. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton, and I am joined once again and as always by my lovely brother Kevin, because we are preparing to take you guys through plenty more NECC regular season competition as Shenandoah University is preparing to take on Misericordia University in what I believe is the last week of the regular season.
Great stuff all around. It was nice having that bit of break between spring break and Boost and getting to see some of the really high-level talent over on the South Carolina side of things. It was beautiful all around, but I'm hoping some of our Smash players who were working that event are going to take away a couple of things that they learned from those players, because we were dealing with some top talent over there, and if they could bring that to this competition, I mean, we could see some really great gameplay.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun down there in Myrtle. For those of you who were hopefully able to tune in, you might have seen me and Kevin. You might have seen Avery or Igloo on a microphone. We got to talk over some seriously high-level Smash Bros, and we're talking some of the best players, if not the best players, in all the states in that region. South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida made appearances, Georgia made appearances. That was a ton of fun, and so thanks for following along if you were able to. If you weren't able to, I'm sure those VODs are up somewhere, and you can go back and watch those, but that's all behind us.
Shenandoah and Syracuse YouTube channels will have a combination of the Rocket League and the Smash Bros side of things. I have gained a new appreciation of the whiff punish game of Ultimate. Every single time you see Smash Brothers Ultimate, there's a lot of stuff happening and it tends to be really fast. But for the first time in a really long time, I felt like I saw a player who was very deliberate about his whiff punish game, canceling all these landings from every single player, every which way. I'm talking Armada, Chris. That Anarchy, yes, my apologies. But Anarchy was a fascinating player to just watch and witness what a game plan before going into a game can really do for this level of competition.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a ton of fun to watch, and we congratulate Anarchy for walking away a Boost on the Beach Invitational victor, as they got to take home the trophy and a title to boot. So yeah, thanks to everybody who helped out with that, but that's behind us. That's not what we're here for. We are here back on our regular schedule. We've got so much action coming to you this week, so much so that I don't even think we could make a graphic for you, but be sure to tune into all of our socials and you'll know what's going on all the time, because we are coming off spring break as well, so it's reschedules like crazy. But what does that mean for us? It means we get as much action as we can possibly handle. So that brings us to today. Shenandoah University taking on Misericordia University, who we can take a look at the boys here that we will be seeing from SU, as it should be the usual four. No real surprises here. AJ, Kip, Igloo, Willie, and Far Rhombus, Falco, Pac-Man, Yoshi, Kazuya, Terry, and Jigglypuff, respectively. Looking to maintain momentum. This team is undefeated so far in NECC and looking to make a statement against a Misericordia team that has been struggling so far.
Yeah, Misericordia is a team that we know very little about, and that is very intimidating, especially this late into the season, because you could see just about any character off the board, but Shenandoah does have a pretty nice record going for them to really bring them forward on that.
Yeah, SU has absolutely been in the driver's seat so far through their NECC season, and that's exactly what you'd like to see, right? It's scary when you get this late in the season and your destiny sort of falls in other people's hands and you need to rely on results from other teams. SU, absolutely not so far. They have played a perfect season, not even dropping a game in there. And as you saw, Misericordia, unfortunately, just struggling to put it all together just yet. So we'll see if they're able to make one heck of a win today against these SU squad, against these SU guys. But it certainly is looking a little intimidating for Misericordia.
I mean, intimidating. Chris, the two players in the hot seat right now are Igloo and Willie. You're talking about two players who have taken out entire crews on their own just cuz. I mean, we're talking about a scary dino and a scary demon man. There's a lot to be afraid of if you're playing against Shenandoah University tonight.
Yeah, and like Kevin said before, one of the things to consider is I don't believe there is much information, at least that we have, or even that the team was able to get on the roster that we'll be playing against tonight. Usually it's around this time that I'm like, all right, what's on the menu for today? And I list off a nice, tasty list of characters, and then I go, that's what we're expecting to see. And I'm usually about 80% right. But I don't really have that for you all today, and that can be intimidating.
It can be, but also a big factor of all of this, Chris, is that we're playing in this crew battle setting. We're talking about a format where you are playing in your team scenario, where everyone has a pool of stocks. Each player has 3. You'll go in, and you'll go up against another team. They'll send in their first player, 3 stocks in hand. They will battle it out. Usually, whoever goes in first has the intent of taking 3 and losing as little as possible, which sounds obvious, but it becomes more deliberate as the game goes on. We talk about momentum. We talk about how suddenly one stock can make a world of difference in these situations, because when you lose those stocks, it carries over between matches, Chris. That's very important to be taking account of when going through this.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind, too, as we all throughout their show, today has been a day of extenuating circumstances, of interesting, unexpected situations. Some of them expected, some of them unexpected. You may recognize the scenery change here. This is not where we've been all semester long, and I'll take a quick moment to shout out, we do have the Civil Air Patrol and various members coming to check out our facilities, so you may see some people coming in and out behind us, and all these chairs, hopefully watching some of the action, and we welcome them all here as they come in and out. But that'll be something for the players to have to deal with, as well as I believe the players, some of the players, did not maybe get as much warm-up time as they might have hoped. I believe I heard that Kip and Farombus might have been having some car troubles on the way to the arena. They are here. Everything is fine. They can check in. Everything's good. But it's been a strange, unique day here at the Esports Arena, and we'll see if the players are able to overcome that.
Yeah, we're talking about 2 players who play characters that tend to control the game at a slower pace. You see Pac-Man on the projectile game setting up a fire hydrant and then getting the fruit ready to throw at the opponent over and over. And so we will see that Kip will not have nearly as much warm-up time just by nature of the character, maybe even 1-2 games. But the same goes for Farombus. You can really play a slow momentum game, keep the back airs rolling. I'm curious if that will change up who Shenandoah sends in first for this crew battle, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Kip is so just ready at all times and seems to have this solid game plan going forward each and every time. I don't know.
Yeah, that I was going to mention, I would not be surprised either if either Igloo or Willie goes in first here to sort of buy time for the other guys to get warm, get loose. But you're right. I mean, Kip is an incredible player that I'm sure is more than prepared under any circumstances, and it looks like the players are in a button check behind us, and spoiler alert, I mean, here's the beauty of being out in the arena. You can see the guys here. It looks like Kip is in the hot seat. So if that means anything, and we've learned the hard way that button checks don't exactly translate to correct information, or at least binding decisions, but at least Kip in the hot seat to start is certainly no surprise to us here at SU.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we see Kip in the hot seat, it means that they're trying to get back to the regular. When you're dealing with Pac-Man, you're talking a lot about this sort of unknown factor. A lot of players don't know how to deal with this Pac-Man player, and because of that, Kip has entered crew battles multiple times to just sweep the competition. I'm talking multiple crews in his back pocket just because that's the Pac-Man way.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind, we have seen Kip 12 stock teams in the past, and you all saw the statistics. I don't really need to lay it out in front of you because it's already been there. That's on the radar for today. We'll see. I certainly don't mean to put that pressure on him, but it's certainly an option as we load into game number 1 here. SU taking on Misericordia University, and player number 1 will be Mario taking on this Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Mario doing a really good job of trying to play the aggressive game, getting that cape out early, trying to reflect the bell, using the up smash to get this Pac-Man away when close up. But I do see a lot more bells flying across the stage, which means that just about anything could take out this Mario.
Yeah, good stuff from the Mario so far as we hyped up. I mean, we talked a lot of game about how Kip could be very dangerous to this whole MU squad. But so far, Mario doing a great job of holding his own, racking up 70%, but unable to recover from that one. Must have lost his jump. I didn't see it, but not able to make it back to the ledge, and the first stock is in Kip's hands. Yeah,
we do see a really good Galaga combo to start things off. About 54% onto the Mario. An extra fire hydrant to boot means that we will see the damage build up even more so. Kip holding the Galaga for a little bit longer. Not looking for any bell sort of situation yet, but now that Mario's at 100, there's that bell. Looking for that stun. Gets the bell regrab. Will they be able to find the next hit? We will not see it this time around. Into the forward tilt, into the back air. That was a crazy setup out of Kip.
Okay, this is fun being back out in the arena with the players. I think I heard all the guys that are not in the game go, whoa, after that one. I think that was a new one for everybody, but ultimately leading to a second stock in Kip's hands. So a 2-stock lead for Shenandoah as a whole. Still first matchup very early. A lot of Smash to be played, but this is certainly not where you'd like to be if you're Misericordia.
Yeah, we do see a couple more Galaga uses, getting a ton of percentage racked up all at once. I mean, this is a dangerous spot for this Mario player, and on top of all of that, Chris, I mean, it's good to play aggressive, but right now Kip is controlling the pace of the match, which means you got to be real careful jumping in front of that Pac-Man. Otherwise, that ghost will send you flying.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say it's safe to say that Kip did not need much time to warm up. This is a guy that walked into our arena maybe 5-10 minutes ago, and I would say has completely settled in. But it might be worth mentioning that to start that series was when Mario had the most momentum, right? Those players went even just about all the way up to 70% on their first stocks until Kip completely took over. So I would say that he is warmed up, he's loose, he's ready to go, and I hate to say I told you so, but we said a 12 stock maybe on the table, and that's a 3 stock, a perfect 3 stock, and that 100% now wiped off the board. Kip has an opportunity to go back and do it all again.
Yeah, 3 stocks in hand one more time. I mean, that is the glory of playing Pac-Man. You have insane recovery options to really keep things going, but at the same time, I mean, look at how that Mario played. It was very aggressive. It was very in the face of what Kip had to offer, and it didn't work out this time around. Mario wants to be full-on pressure, going for up air strings, going for the little spin move and all of that, but it's when you have Kip's projectile game kind of slowing down that momentum and forcing Mario to jump over the hydrant, Kip very deliberately is trying to anti-air the opponent. Jump up, smack him in the face, say, you're not allowed to approach me like that. Try something else. And it just didn't work this time around.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, I have the matchup preferences in front of me. Kip does not like the Mario matchup, and I think it's because of the flood interactions. We've seen that in games earlier this season, that Mario is able to sort of shoot the bells and other projectiles right back in Kip's face, and Kip doesn't have answers any better than his opponents do. So an interesting statistic there,
Chris.
But it's behind him now.
Jump.
He doesn't have a jump. Cloud can't make it back, and Kip is completely settled in. Another stock taken, and without even getting hit yet.
Yeah, I mean, the 0 to death to start things off. A matchup that, once again, Kip does not prefer. But when you have all the momentum in the world, it can really work in your favor.
Yeah, Kip absolutely making a statement here, and I want to take a moment. We do have more members of the Civil Air Patrol here in attendance, so Kip absolutely putting on a show for more eyes than he may even realize with his back to them. But now 100% and limit bar fully charged, only 10%, make that 16, and the limit bar now gone. not worth it for the Cloud as he can't get out of the tech situation and catches a forward smash to the face.
Yeah, here we go. 1-2 forward airs into the Galaga. Won't be able to get the follow-up this time around, but we do see Cloud immediately going on the aggression, trying to make sure that if the fire hydrant isn't in place, then I'm going to run straight at you. I have no reason to fear what this Pac-Man game plan is in those sorts of situations. But for now, we do see Kip trying to pick up the pace a little bit, getting a little bit closer to Cloud than we normally expect, but making sure that these approaches are stuffed out every time.
Yeah, Kip's movement has been really aggressive. He's really chasing after these rolls, and I think it's really getting in this Misericordia player's head a little bit. I think Kip has quite the download here, but so far has kind of stalled out over the last 30 seconds or so. Not much for Kip, but on the other side of that, this Cloud has not been able to get much aggression going. Only 77% now through a couple minutes of gameplay, and on his last stocks, I mean, Kip is in full control, but again, chasing after the roll, can't quite time that one, charging up the up smash, but gets pushed away from his own hydrant, so Cloud lives to see another day as Kip just continues to run and look for a setup to finish this one off.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I think Kip really wants this bell setup. We do see it is thrown, and the Cloud able to go to that platform, but doesn't go for much more. Is looking for a potential back air to close the stout, but we do see that the bell connects, no follow-up this time around. Instead, we may be seeing Kip looking for another potential setup, trying to get that last hit going.
Hey, we're all shaking rust off here in the Esports Arena. The guys haven't played in a week. We haven't casted in a week, and I'm speaking too soon when Kyle gets a stun from that bell. But a grab off the shielded limit break means that Kip won't get that kill just yet. Now 170%, and Kip is in danger of losing this first stock. Well, okay, yeah, still in danger of losing that first stock. And again, you have to think long-term here, but it will not go down just yet. Make it another 3-stock for Kip as we move on to player number 3.
Yeah, we can hear a little bit of excitement from from the team behind us, trying to kind of get the mood going. The pace of the match definitely slowed down a little bit at the end there, but that is all good if that's what you need to do to win. Understandably so. Cloud, another character that when in that burst range, getting real close, can really rack up the percentage. So Kip taking it slow, looking for whatever setups, because every time we see this Pac-Man, it feels like there's a new setup that we can find and get that game plan online.
Yeah, and we've gotten one already today. Yeah. but how about the matchup preference too? This is now 2 matchups in a row that Kip has said he does not like one bit. The Cloud one kind of surprises me, but I'm sure there are little interactions here and there that I'm not thinking of. But one way or another, Kip expressing that he does not like either of those characters and walking out with 3 stocks and none lost along the way. I mean, you literally can't ask for a better start so far if you're SU.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it goes so far. We will see Kip over and over just with these strong performances. And again, people don't seem to have answers. If you don't have an answer for this Pac-Man, if you don't have an answer to the one projectile game that Shenandoah has going, then it can really spell trouble for you in these sorts of crew battle situations, because Kip will just run away with it like we're seeing. Here we are, another character that doesn't have insane projectile game. Captain Falcon, a very fast, high-paced character, but even so, you got to get close to that yellow sphere, and I don't know how you do it in this sort of situation. Yeah,
we have yet to see any player figure out an answer to that one yet, but so far, Misericordia looking to find that answer, and will it be Captain Falcon? So far, not quite yet. 107% in it. What feels like a heartbeat and a stun into an up smash means that is absolutely gone. One more stock in Kip's belt, count him up to 7.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like a potential Kip sweep, the ones we see all the time, which means that a couple of good hits here could be enough to get another stock. I mean, Captain Falcon already sitting at 83, and I'm telling you, it's because when you're playing a character like Captain Falcon, the momentum you need, you want those initial hits, you want to find those side Bs, the Raptor boost, but if you're looking for it too often, it could spell disaster as another bell connects and takes out another stock off of this Captain Falcon.
Yeah, Kip looks borderline unstoppable, and the audience certainly not in Kip's mind as he continues to put on a show. Look at these combos! What are we talking about? Kip absolutely stringing Captain Falcon across the stage.
There's no way.
Yeah, okay, that was not intentional, but that's insane. A down air on the fire hydrant lands all the way off stage. That's a highlight reel right there.
Okay. The fire hydrant is a unique mechanic in this game. It has one active hitbox the moment it starts flying. You hit it once, and that's it. It will keep moving around, but it doesn't deal damage. I thought that Captain Falcon got hit by it by the initial momentum.
I thought he did too.
Yeah, so for it to follow Captain Falcon all the way into the blast zone and take the stop.
Wow.
How does Kip do it?
That one's going on Twitter, I'm sure. But hey, making another 3-stock in Kip's backpack. So with one player left, Misericordia desperately looking for an answer, and I hate to say it, but you kind of have to look to the future now. It would be miraculous if you get a reverse 12-stock from this final player. I think you have to sort of look beyond and say, all right, what information can we get from Kip if you're able to knock him out and maybe at least see a second player? I don't know, but you're kind of grasping for straws here as you move to your final player.
Yeah, when it comes to dealing with the Pac-Man, I think we saw the best results from the Mario player the first time around. They did a great job of really keeping Kip on their toes at the start of the game. It's just a matter of adapting to the game plan as it went on. Kip did a great job of figuring out how to stuff out the Mario approaches. It just means that Mario needs a couple other ways to approach. But instead, we do have a potential projectile user to answer this Pac-Man. Will it be enough this time around? Starting things off, a good Galaga combo will say otherwise.
Yeah, and we will see, right? This is the first opportunity for MU to really sit back and play a different game against Kip. Play a game that he hasn't at least seen it yet today, but I'm sure they don't see what we see, which is that Kip could not feel more comfortable against Asura. And look at that, just ready to receive the landing there with a hydrant, but unable to turn it into more. 127% already built up onto the Sora as Kip looks to take this first stock.
Yeah, we are seeing the key thrown, but the water pushes it the other way, which means Kip will just hit the hydrant back at Sora and walk away for now. I mean, a couple of good fruit might be enough. The apple thrown down does not connect. We do see Sora doing a good job of playing this slow, trying to dance around what Kip has going on, but a key to the face will send Sora flying. Not enough to take the stock just yet, but the bell is online. Sora going for an up special. It will allow them to survive just a little bit longer, but will it be enough to survive the orange? It will. This is the highest percent I've seen. Okay, this was the highest percent I've seen a Sora survive for a while, but that won't be enough to survive that fruit this time around as Kip is looking for that 12 stock.
Yeah, tried and true. The apple has made its appearance once again. It's been too long since we've seen that apple confirm a kill here on this channel, but we are back. All the way back after a long hiatus, and clearly Kip has not lost it as he looks to take Sora all the way off stage, but Sora being so floaty, you can't quite string those combos together as well as you could against the Captain Falcon or the Cloud that we saw earlier with those really unimpressive recoveries.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of situation where you can take advantage of those offstage interactions. Pac-Man doing a good job of just really controlling the pace of the match, and this Sora player doing a good job of not committing to anything too crazy. Able to roll behind the Pac-Man, has been really slowing down the pace of this match. It will be enough to call out. Sora connects the down smash on a Kip who was going for the get-up attack, called out, and will lose a stock because of it.
Okay, we heard Kip behind us let out a squeal as he fell right into that smash attack. That is not a great look, but still a 12 stock on the table as Kip, it will not be a perfect 12 stock anymore. Finally losing his first stock. Maybe Misericordia has found an answer, but a massive misstep out of Kip, losing his first stock finally through 10 stocks of Misericordia.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Sora. Again, playing it real slow. When you're dealing with Pac-Man, that's what you have to do. If you can get Kip to be the one to approach before a fruit is online, I mean, look at the difference in game plan. One fire hydrant connects, yes, but it doesn't do much more. Sora able to stay floaty, stay up a little high, but the bell connects up with them, meaning that a really nice hit will secure another stock for Kip.
Yep, so one left ahead of him, one stock in the way of a 12 stock performance. Certainly not Kip's first, not even his first this semester, but what's becoming all too familiar for Kip is these 12 stocks, and we'll see if he can add another tally to the statistic. Misericordia desperately looking to find any information, try to find a hole in this game plan of SU, and more specifically just Kip. None of it matters if you can't get past this Pac-Man, but so far just nobody has been able to really find any way in.
Yeah, we do see just kind of that stall game. Sora able to find a couple of good hits. We may see another stock taken. And again, there's a lot of information being given out here, Chris. Because this match is going for so long, the players are starting to see more of Kip's game plan, as well as their potential answer going forward for how to deal with it. I mean, this Sora has been doing a really good job of, again, controlling the pace and may be able to find the last hit. The down air is able to connect on top of the rage, means that Kip will lose another stock.
Hey, how about it? I mean, okay, take what you can get if you are Misericordia, taking 2 stocks off this nasty Pac-Man player, but ultimately not enough, as Kip does round out a 12 stock performance, taking a full set off Misericordia all by himself, and SU pulls ahead in the series and looks to continue this momentum.
Yeah, the name of the game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The goal of the game is to figure out how to deal with Pac-Man. Every time we see Kip in a situation like this, a lot of players tend to send out a character to really snowball a lead. Mario is a great example of that. You send in Mario, he has great combo game, great in-your-face pressure to really try and secure that early lead. But then after that, you have your answers. You have your bridge to then connect the path, try and close out what this Pac-Man is offering. But when you don't have an answer, you get situations like that.
Yeah, and now SU has an interesting question on their hands, and I think I'm seeing the answer behind me. Do you let Kip go in and do it all again? Or do you let another player get the experience? Do you let a player put on a show for the audience we have behind us here? We do have plenty of members of the Civil Air Patrol here coming in and out of our frame, and welcome to all of you. But you're coming in at a great time because SU is in full control of this series and now has this flexibility where they could put in a different player and try some strategies that we're not used to seeing.
Yeah, on top of Spring Break and Boost, that means we had so many reschedules. I wouldn't be surprised if Shenandoah does want to give other players playtime to keep them warm. There are a lot of matches, potential double to triple headers almost every day this week to make up matchups. I mean, there's a ton you need to be ready for, and keeping a player cold, I mean, don't get me wrong, Kip did great. Chris, Pac-Man every time is a force to be reckoned with, but I don't know. I think it makes sense to sort of keep Kip in reserve, say, hey, you did great this time around, but we need to make sure that our players are getting experience as well in these sorts of matchups. Maybe Coach Avery is seeing something that they want one of the players to get experience against.
Hey, I mean, yeah, we shall see. And we're getting dangerously close to postseason as well. And that's, of all times, when you want your players to be the hottest. You want to bring as much momentum as you can into the postseason and get over early losses. Well, guess what? SU has no early losses. They have no losses at all. This team has played perfect so far through this NECC regular season. 5-0, excuse me. Haven't dropped a game. That continues today, and an opportunity to continue that trend. So, yeah, how do you build up this momentum that maybe got stalled a little bit over break? I agree. I think you give all the players as much play time as you can, and with an opportunity to sort of settle back in. It does look like SU is in control right now, and they can afford to make a mistake here and there in exchange for, getting these guys playtime and getting everybody back into a competitive rhythm.
Yeah, we saw a good mix of characters this first time around. We saw Mario, we saw Cloud, we saw the Sora, who had the strongest performance out of the other players. I'm forgetting the
Captain Falcon.
Right. Captain Falcon, a very fast-paced character, but that also goes the other way around if the matchup doesn't work, which is why, I mean, hey, that is pure momentum either way. Fun to watch, but it hurts to play sometimes. I'm curious who you send in. If you assume Shenandoah is going to play Pac-Man, then you would want that Sora. You want to secure those 2 stocks that you got the first time around, and then try to figure out, okay, between the other 3 characters that we have, who can take the one? Who can force Shenandoah to really keep that momentum going? Again, it's a team-based game. You don't need to be the one to solo an opponent. You just have to be very deliberate about where you're being placed and how many stocks you can take off of any given opponent.
Yeah, and I'm no oracle, but I can see what you all can see, and there's a different person sitting behind us. But I was going to say, in situations like this where we've seen Shenandoah pull ahead and well, okay, now you've lost me. Misericordia with a massive mix-up here, and we don't know if this is somebody we saw on a different character or not, but ultimately Sonic is the decision, and Faramis is the decision for Shenandoah, and Faramis looking no different than Kip, his predecessor.
I do believe that this was the Cloud player. They did taunt at the start of the last round too, as we do see Faramis try to return it in stride, but they get hit because of it. And so, with a couple of good hits, going for the up air into the rest. It doesn't connect this time around, but the Sonic player instead goes for a quick neutral B, doesn't go for much more, and is being escorted once again into the side blast zone.
Yeah, they don't have a bit of interference there from Nintendo. A little internet mishap might have prevented a recovery there, but no matter the circumstances, Misericordia does lose a stock there. So down to the last is Misericordia's first player here, as Faramis is absolutely in a rhythm right now in following these rolls.
Yeah, careful, Chris. Keep an eye on these falling up airs. Whoa. We could see another rest setup. Going for the forward tilt. Does get the up air. Does they go for the rest? No, goes for another up air potential setup, but it won't connect this time around. Faramis sitting at 105, meaning that the rage might have sent the knockback just a little too high, so the Sonic player will be sent flying. Is the narrow enough? It is. And Faramis this time around securing a 3 stock in their pocket.
Hey, how about it? If Faramis listed as a sub on this team in this Fluid 5 roster that we've come to know and love, making a statement here. A 3 stock of his own. Anything Kip can do, I can do better. We shall see. But yeah, a 3 stock in hand, and a heck of a start for Faramis and Shenandoah in set number 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful stuff all around. I'm a little surprised to see the punish game that we saw from the Sonic player, trying to use the up smash to potentially catch Jigglypuff, going for the pound a little bit above Sonic. Makes total sense, but because of the way that Jigglypuff stalls, I believe that every single time it just will work out in Jigglypuff's favor. It's kind of a niche interaction, but one that you need to be aware of, especially if you're making a character swap like that. I am fairly positive that the Cloud player is this Sonic player, and if that's the swap around that you were choosing, maybe that was the answer for the Pac-Man, but now you got a whole new issue. There's a puffball on your screen, and it is trying to sleep, and you should not mess with a sleeping puffball.
2 spherical characters causing a lot of problems right now for Misericordia, but we'll see if that can continue. Yeah, I think the biggest question right now is, who was that Sonic? We seem to think that it was the Cloud, but if we see a Cloud come in right now, maybe we're wrong, and maybe all of these characters or all of these players have secondaries. I can't exactly assume who's going to try to deal with this Jigglypuff. I would think probably like a Captain Falcon pick, somebody that can sort of match the brawl game and maybe take a Jigglypuff off stage to some extent.
Well, not only that, who in their right mind wants to fall on top of Captain Falcon, Chris?
Yeah.
Captain Falcon's game above them is insanity. Up air strings, up tilts, and everything else. Up B even. Will be able to catch that Jigglypuff in the awkward spot. So that could be the answer to really keep that momentum going. And on top of that, it could keep that... Whoa, okay, Chris, never mind. A new character approaches the scene as we see Falco online to get a little bit of a comeback against Far Rhombus.
All right, option number 6 for Misericordia, as we've seen 6 different characters now try to take stocks off Shenandoah, and so far the Sora taking 2 is the only successful answer we've seen. Can this Falco change the narrative? We shall see, but so far Far Rhombus taking control, getting the Falco off stage, and he recovers straight up. He can't reach the ledge, and Misericordia now down another stock.
Yeah, but not at a simple cost, Chris. Far Rhombus did take 66% this time around and could potentially lose a stock pretty quickly against Falco, but it's a matter of holding on to your double jumps. We do see the double jump was used. Falco having to land back on stage is able to find it, but at a cost of 72%. I mean, it is very difficult right now to deal with this Jigglypuff. So much pressure, just back and forth, going for these forward smashes. It's not enough this time around, but a couple of forward tilts might be able to close it as the forward smash hits in the sour spot for Jigglypuff.
Yep, and Jigglypuff can go off the ledge and find the nair every time there. So Falco down to their last stock, and I believe, was that a 0 to death as well? Not untouched in that second Falco stock. So losing momentum is this 6th Misericordia player as, wow, Far Rhombus gets a falling up air setup but can't find much from it. Pound can't lead to much more, and now Far Rhombus with a similar opportunity looking to defend the ledge, but Misericordia finds their way back onto stage. Falco just looking to get any amount of credit for the team right now.
Yeah, we do see Far Rhombus trying to catch those landings. We saw how valuable that was over in Myrtle. Boost on the Beach showed us how critical it is to really take advantage of your opponent's landings in situations like that, because you can secure stocks with those dash attacks. Far Rhombus feeling good.
Yeah, how about it? 6 stocks. Perfect so far through 6 stocks is Far Rhombus, and a player who we have not seen go on runs like this in the past. I believe once so far this semester we've seen Far Rhombus go on, I think, a 10 stock run. So now there's a goal, I would say. Yeah, there's a target in sight. Can Far Rhombus overtake that? We shall see.
And I think 2 of your most difficult answers have just been taken out. Falco, another character who really likes to take advantage of you landing on top of him. I mean, when those up tilts are coming out, it covers so much space. It combos into just about anything. You could secure upwards of 70% on any given target to just secure those stocks. It's very important that if you're going to deal with those matchups, if you find any sort of weakness in it, take advantage and run.
Absolutely, but Far Rhombus finding his rhythm, taking advantage of every situation that's been in front of him. Something that we noticed, or something that I noticed towards the end of that last matchup, was there were a lot of smash attacks coming out from Far Rhombus. So that could be something that Misericordia may be catching on to, something that might lead to a punishment later on in the other direction, but we'll see, right? Far Rhombus with all the momentum in the world right now, and I cannot reasonably predict who would come in next for Misericordia anymore.
And on top of all of that, you can kind of tell that Far Rhombus wants this 12-stock situation, because we saw the falling up air situation and didn't go for the rest. It's a very risky option. If you hit it, you secure the stock. If you don't, you lose one. Far Rhombus very deliberately gets it, goes for a pound, and just tries to get a little bit more percent off of it. Understandably so, but I'm curious to see as the series continues if that little bit of creative flow, trying to get those early stocks, could come into play. It's just a matter of time.
No, you're right. That's a great observation that maybe, yeah, Far Rhombus is getting a little conservative with his strategies, with the idea of, yeah, maybe he is really looking all the way toward the finish line. not just looking to get extra credit, as we like to say, after the first character. And why would you, right? You're absolutely rolling right now. You're looking borderline unstoppable, and Misericordia has not been able to find much momentum of their own. So, yeah, if you're Farambus and you have this goal in mind, or at least a milestone in mind of 10 stocks, yeah, why not look the distance?
Yeah, and on top of all of that, I'm curious now what your answer is, because you sent in 2 characters that have pretty good anti-air game, trying to swat that Jigglypuff out of the sky, which means that it didn't work this time around. Maybe that's not the approach you take. What other things could you take advantage of? Maybe the shield game. Maybe Farambus has been holding shield just a little bit too much on these stages, and you get a character with a pretty strong shield break. That balloon pops, Chris. Jigglypuff goes soaring into the blast zone if that situation happens. That could be your next approach is, okay, anti-air game, air-to-air, it didn't work. But what can we do then? Well, let's have a really good grounded game.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe the answer is time. Maybe the answer is to take a breather and sort of regain and maybe try to cool off Farambus, who had a lot of momentum. And so right now it does seem like that might be where we're headed. We've got a bit of an extended delay here. We'll see if Misericordia is really just digging deep in their bag of tricks, trying to find that solution. And so far they haven't been able to find it. So maybe we wait. Everybody gets a 5-minute little timeout as we look for the answer.
Hey, if you need that timeout, you take advantage of it. Like, it's there as a resource. You can use it to build up your game plan. You can use it to sort of stall that momentum. Whatever it is, take advantage. So in these sorts of situations, I'm glad to see that SU's team spirits are still pretty high. There it is, Chris. One more opportunity to sort of anti-air this Jigglypuff. Captain Falcon is online.
Yeah, so this is what I was hoping to see as the last character from Misericordia, or the previous character, I should say, from Misericordia. The Captain Falcon is making an appearance, and I do think that this character would have the best shot of stalling this Farambus momentum, and so far looking pretty good through half a stock.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, Chris. We're seeing a couple of specials come out from the Captain Falcon, keeping that momentum going, recovering high onto the platform. Farambus trying to catch the landing, but it doesn't work out this time around. We do see a couple more Raptor boosts trying to keep that momentum going, but has to get towards the ledge. And what's waiting for you but this little puffball, Chris, who's able to secure the stock off of one there.
Yeah, good little effort there from Misericordia to fall out of that combo and just run away by time. Don't hold into the Jigglypuff that's stringing these combos together. But again, a falling up air setup is not converted into a rest. Farambus playing this extra careful and just making sure to take care of business where he can.
I mean, I can't blame him. That back air connected so well, and Captain Falcon's recovery is not the best, which means that in those sorts of situations you can really take advantage. Farambus still holding on to the stock, but there's that up smash, Chris. That is enough to secure one stock for the side of Misericordia.
Yeah, tough break there from Farambus as the perfect 12 stock is now off the table, but still room to upstage Kip, as Kip lost 2, and sure enough, Farambus now no longer afraid of losing those stocks, can confirm with a rest, and now, once again, the possibility to upstage Kip is still on the table.
Yeah, I think at that moment, the moment that stock was lost, I think Farambus was almost unshackled of any sort of like, I really want this 12 stock situation. Now you can play just a little bit more risky if that is the kind of mentality that you have. Stocks are critical in a crew battle. You can play with that mentality in mind, going for a little bit less reward in any given situation, but mitigating the risk. It makes a lot of sense, but Farambus now in a 2-stock situation against one more opponent, is going to feel the pressure now to try and snowball a lead as fast as possible.
Yeah, and maybe if you're Misericordia, you kind of notice that, all right, the first rest has come out. Maybe they are noticing that, yeah, this is a bit more of an unchained Far Rhombus, and maybe you can take advantage of that, right? The pressure is on Far Rhombus to try and complete this 12 stock like his teammate just did to overcome his own record at 10 stocks taken in a row. So, yeah, pressure's on Far Rhombus, and maybe Misericordia knows that and is able to capitalize on some of the aggression. But you also have to be a little bit nervous that, yeah, all of a sudden these types of combos are on the table where it looked like they weren't in the past.
I'm curious if we will see a bit more slowdown, another break potentially trying to keep that momentum slowed, or if we will just hop right back into game, because there's an argument for both. You did secure one stock off of this Far Rhombus. There we go, Chris. One stock thrown away in this crew battle situation, and now we will see it play out even further as Byleth enters the fray.
Our 7th unique character through 8 players, as Misericordia now with their last line of defense looks to make a statement here and try to get some momentum in their bag.
Yeah, we do see Byleth trying to play it a little bit slower. I do have a feeling that this is the Cloud player from what we saw before. They're doing a lot of these double jump situations that we saw the last time around. It could not be, but even so, that may determine a bit of the game plan we may see, as a well-spaced back air will be able to connect, but the up special secures another stock off of Far Rhombus.
Yeah, so Misericordia, this Byleth player, really got aggressive, and I think, wow, but a jab reset into the up special absolutely confirms a forward smash well executed by Far Rhombus. But back to that first stock, I think this Byleth player made a heck of a read onto Far Rhombus, carrying him all the way down, knowing that Far Rhombus would try to catch the double jump, catch the recovery, and sure enough, the Byleth turns it around and spikes him directly into the blast zone. So we trade stocks and reset back to low percentages.
Oh, but there's that up air, Chris. It won't work out this time around just because of the platform spacing, but Byleth doing a good job of trying to prevent Far Rhombus from landing on this main stage. We do see a couple of aerials thrown out, trying to dash around the sort of game plans that Byleth may have going on. Goes for a falling back air, is able to stuff out the forward smash from Far Rhombus, but Far Rhombus willing to play it a little bit slower. Again, sitting in shield and willing to take a step back.
Yeah, and another storyline here. I'm sure we could all hear Kip take a sigh of relief, as his performance will not be outdone, as Far Rhombus can only tie it with now one stock left in his way. One stock remaining for Misericordia on their last set. This is, if Misericordia is to stay alive in this series, it would take a flawless 10 stock run from here.
Yeah, we do see a Nair situation, trying to get a couple more good hits. Does find the forward smash. It doesn't connect.
Wow.
I thought that the forward smash beat out the down air. It didn't this time around, as both players are getting up to that percent. Just about anything will be able to take them out. The down air connects, get a little bit more onto this Byleth player. They could survive another good, strong hit, but even so, it could be these back airs that sends Byleth far enough off stage for Far Rhombus to get that sort of ledge situation. Not opting to go too far off this time, but does find the back air. Chris, that is it. Far Rhombus redemption, 12 stock in hand, a full crew taken out and put on the mantle. Far Rhombus feeling good.
Yeah, how about it? What a statement from this Shenandoah squad. Back-to-back 12 stocks from 2 different players, and Far Rhombus stands atop the mountain, and the teammates can't help but laud him as SU pulls ahead 2-0 with a series in their hands, and they remain absolutely flawless through 6 weeks of NECC.
And that is so important for going into this final rounds of competition. I mean, Shenandoah in the past, the better the seeding, the better they have done, which sounds like, hey, that should be given. But we have seen some crazy runs from truly talented players in the Nova region. I wouldn't be surprised if this time around Shenandoah can really hold on to that momentum and come out on top in the final rounds of this series.
Yeah, also worth mentioning that SU did win their region last semester in NECC. They won the Chesapeake playoffs and I believe solidified a spot in the national tournament at the end of this semester. So a little less stakes on the line for this team, and yet they continue to absolutely perform, undeniably impress. So SU absolutely not letting the stakes get in their mind. They want to go out, they want to dominate, and they continue to do just that.
And that was only 2 players of SU's squad, Chris. There are 2 other players sitting behind us, 1 player who couldn't make it out here tonight, but even so, I mean, there are so many talented players on this roster that could have done the exact same thing when given the chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they were all itching for that opportunity to really show their stuff, especially in front of this audience.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had a lot of fun here today. We got to welcome a lot of special guests from the Civil Air Patrol, and we want to thank them for coming out and touring our facilities and getting to watch one of our teams absolutely dominate against Misericordia University. But with all that now behind us, that will do it for us here at Shenandoah University. I believe our Overwatch team was able to 3-0 their game as well. So be sure to drop us a follow on all of our socials and whatever platform you're watching right now so that you can stay up to date on all of our teams and everything they do, and you'll get notified anytime we go live in the future. But with that all behind us, I'm Chris Clayton. This is Kevin Clayton. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Go!